Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And once again, this is the one-day chart. We're sitting here at $3.03. It looks like everything is building now for the moment we've been waiting for. And this could be the beginning of gradual upward movement from here. I'll talk more about that in this video. And look at Bitcoin back above 115K. Everybody's thinking this could be the beginning of Bitcoin's final ascent before it comes crashing down. And everybody over the next couple of days is going to be watching the Bitcoin dominance chart, waiting to see if that Bitcoin dominance starts to fall while Bitcoin's price is rising. We've seen that in previous cycles. And we are very close to alt season. Today, we are at 65 out of 100. Once we get above 75, it is then officially alt season. I see a lot of people already saying we are now in alt season. I never like to jump to conclusions. I always like to see what happens with the market over time. But everything right now is strengthening for XRP. And we even got some big news for today as well. The XRP ETF decision week is almost here, October 18th to 25th. And the big one, Franklin Templeton, November 14th. Now, those were the dates that everybody was told to watch. But it looks like things are starting to pick up momentum. Rex OSPREY Crypto ETF, including XRP, Bitcoin, Doge, Bonk, and Trump, cleared SEC review. Trading starts today. I want to see how much money flows into that ETF. That could be an indicator on what is driving all that inflow of money. Is it XRP? Are people interested in Trump coin or Doge? But this is just one part of it. The DTCC lists new Fidelity and Canary crypto spot ETFs. And this is a big one. So on September 12th, DTCC listed the Fidelity Solana ETF, Canary Hedera ETF, and Canary XRP ETF, a procedural step towards potential ETF launches without regulatory approval. These listings signal market interest, but highlight ongoing regulatory challenges for digital asset ETFs, with no immediate trading or significant price effects until SEC decisions. So is this going to now fast track those dates? Instead of October, we might start watching XRP ETFs go live one after another within the next couple of weeks. It could happen quicker than expected. And again, I think the reason the price is rising right now is a few different things. It's the anticipation of the XRP ETFs. It's also anticipation for Fed rate cuts as well. I definitely think the Fed is going to cut rates this time around, and that will signal go time for crypto. What I'm telling you is we are now at the finish line. All you do now is just wait until we cross the finish line to take some profit, because I think the finish line is going to be over the course of the next couple of months. You know, everybody always said XRP, it's going to have this massive run-up, and it's going to be done and over with within 2 weeks, like back in 2017, 2018. But not with ETFs. That's going to be consistent flow of institutional money coming into XRP. You combine that with multiple Fed rate cuts throughout the rest of this year. Then you combine it with ISO going live and regulations getting put in place at the same time. This is what we are still waiting for. So there's already people out there trying to say the top is in for crypto, that this cycle is over. Don't listen to these people. This cycle hasn't even began yet for XRP. We have a long way to go, is what I'm telling you. Don't be in any rush to sell your XRP this time around. And here's another huge XRP update. Matthew Tuttle, CEO of Tuttle Capital Management, says recent leveraged ETF filings covering XRP are ready to launch. Take a listen.
But I thought, let's just jump right in on these crypto ETF filings I mentioned. So correct me if I'm wrong, I showed 10 filings from back in January. These are all 2 times leveraged ETFs, and they cover everything from that Trump meme coin I mentioned to XRP, Solana, Litecoin, Bonk. There are a bunch of these. And so first, let me ask, where do these currently stand with the SEC? And I'll offer the usual disclaimer. I know there's only so much you can say that with certain filings, so I'll throw that out there. But what can you tell us about these?
Yeah, and actually, interestingly, they are all just about ready to go from an effectiveness standpoint. You know, this is as I'm sure you know, an entirely.
So he says they are ready to go. And if he's saying that, most likely this is going to happen sometime over the next 2-3 weeks. We might not be waiting until the end of October. So that's one thing to keep an eye on, because everybody's like, well, you still have time to invest. None of the ETFs are set to go live until the end of October. I would get positioned now. I would not be sitting on the sidelines now, because the price of XRP is still very cheap at $3 and change. But once it starts to break out, it's going to happen very quick. And all of a sudden, instead of buying at $3, you're buying at $6 or $7 or $8. Because once the money flow starts, with the market cap multiplier, XRP's price is going to change very quick. All eyes on Q4 2025 and Q1 2026. It will be huge for XRP. Be patient and enjoy the process. We are very close. Like I just said, I think the top is going to come in most likely next year. Most likely January, February would normally be the top. But we got to keep an eye on the flows of money into those ETFs this time around. We also got to see if ISO is having an impact on the price of XRP. Plus, there's going to be a lot of institutional adoption happening as well, because regulations are most likely going to get put in place early next year. There's so many things happening around this cryptocurrency. Don't be in a rush to cash in, because you could cash in for a hell of a lot more money if you stay patient just a little while longer. And 1.2 billion XRP surge in one day. What's happening? So they're talking about a surge of XRP on Binance. And there's a lot of speculation on this. People are saying that Binance is manipulating the price of XRP. Other people are saying Binance is getting positioned for what's about to happen with XRP. Either way you look at it, most likely I'm thinking that people are going to rush to buy XRP. There's going to be a lot of FOMO. Binance wants to position themselves as well. That could be what's really going on. BlackRock working on tokenizing funds tied to real-world assets. And what have I been saying this entire time? They're going to tokenize those ETFs. The world's largest asset manager is reportedly looking into bringing its highly successful ETFs on chain. Bloomberg reported on Thursday. BlackRock's Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs each reached $10 billion in assets under management in under a year. 2 of only 3 such products to reach that milestone. So they're going to now tokenize those ETFs. And that's what I've been telling you all along. And most likely, they're going to end up on the XRP ledger through Ondo. BlackRock plans to tokenize its funds using real-world assets and stocks on the blockchain. Rumors: BlackRock will use Ripple partner Ondo. Why wouldn't they use Ondo? I think that's most likely the path that BlackRock is going to take. And this also dropped on the same day. Ondo is how Wall Street comes on chain. That's just too big of a coincidence that Ondo drops this on the same day that we get an announcement that BlackRock is going to bring exchange-traded funds onto the blockchain. They're going to tokenize those funds. I don't think that was by coincidence. You can't be bearish. Real-world asset tokens are surging while Bitcoin and ETH barely moved. In just 7 days, real-world asset market cap jumped $8 billion from $67 billion to $75 billion. That's a 10% move in a week. Trillions next. And that's why BlackRock is getting positioned now. You think they're going to miss out on this tokenization boom? Absolutely not. They're also not going to miss out on XRP. I mean, they're going to file for a spot XRP ETF. It's just a matter of time. Hey, maybe everybody's right. They're going to announce it at Ripple Swell later this year. We really don't know yet. There's so much speculation going on still with BlackRock. But one thing I do know is XRP is now back above $3. Now, I think it will most likely pull back a little bit, then start to move back up, then pull back a little bit and move up even more, leading into the Fed cutting rates. And we also got to see what happens with the inflows throughout the day for that ETF as well. The exciting times are almost here. This is just the beginning of something so much bigger. I also am going to keep an eye on Bitcoin. I want to see where it goes from here. I want to see if this is that last move up before it comes crashing down. But everything looks great with the market, and I was kind of overexcited in this video. So I'm sure I messed up a little bit along the way. But the point I wanted to make is that now is not the time to be bearish on XRP. And now is not the time to be sitting on the sidelines waiting to see if it goes to a lower price. Because I still see people saying, before XRP blasts off, it's going to drop down below $2. I'm not seeing that happen at all. I don't think any chart guy out there is calling for that much of a dip on the price of XRP. The lowest I seen was like $2.85, and then it would break out from there. I don't even know if that's going to happen now, because I think those ETFs are going to go live sooner than people think. And once that flow of money begins, it's not going to stop for a couple of months. There's so much demand for this cryptocurrency. You know, they could spin it however they want. The Bitcoin maxis can spin it. Jamie Dimon can spin it. There's not institutional demand for XRP. They're all lying. There is so much demand for this cryptocurrency. It's not hard to see. Why do you think there's so many filings for an ETF? That's because the institutions like Franklin Templeton and others, they're listening to their customers. Their customers want this already. That's why the filings are happening. So they already have people lined up to buy into an XRP ETF. Otherwise, they wouldn't even bother to file at all. And until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.